Working on the old house here, and it's the plumbing, because I forgot to come over here and turn the heat up when we had a hard freeze early this past winter. Right now we are in the middle of June, and June of the year 25, and I already pulled out the pipes that were bad. Trash can is full of them here. I had PVC plastic pipe that I put in a long time ago, maybe 30 years ago. No more, I don't know, it's getting closer to 40 years ago. Anyway, I got, let me take a look in here. The house is a mess because I don't live here anymore. It's just for storage now. But this down here, that's my pressure regulator. That's the water coming in from outside. And then I've already taken the PVC pipe off and put this PEX in. And that comes across here to just along the wall, and it's going to stay that way because this will probably never be a house to live in again. It's just going to be storage and just usage. But I will make the kitchen functional again in the bathroom. And anyway, I've already put the red and blue pipes for hot and cold under the kitchen sink. I buy this stuff in big rolls, this PEX tubing, 100-foot rolls, and I just cut off as I need it. Now I'm going to do a little demonstration on how to cut and put these together. This is the cheap PEX. There is a more expensive one. It's got a different number to the material itself, and it costs more to use it. Probably doesn't cost any more to buy it. Maybe it's about the same to buy it, but the fittings and the tool, you got to put a tool inside the pipe that expands, and then you put a fitting in there. You pull the tool out, and then you put a fitting in there, and it will slowly shrink back down onto the fitting and seal tight on it. And the advantage to that is that it doesn't, the inside of the fitting is going to be the same size as the rest of the idea of the pipe. With these crimp-on ones that I'm using here with these bands, the inside of the fitting is smaller than the pipe, than the idea of the pipe, and so you lose a little bit of water flow there. But it's not been a problem. I did my whole mobile home with this, and I didn't have any problem with the water flow at all. It's got a lot more water flow than what I really need to have, so it does fine. So I'm going to do a quick demonstration on how to crimp this stuff and how easy it is to work with it. But this house is a mess, and I know most people watching this have never seen a mess like this and couldn't imagine anyone ever lived here. Well, I was poor when I grew up, and I was thankful to get this house, and I've just been patching it up over the years. I've had issues with water, issues with rats, issues with termites, everything else. This is where the bathroom sink was. Of course, that all has to come out and be replaced, but this piece of plywood section right here, you can see the outline of it right there. Last time there was any repairs done underneath, we cut this piece out, put it back there so that it's an access area. But I'm going to lift this up and finish my piping underneath. That right there is the water that comes up and splits off to the left for the sink and then to the right for the tub. And then there's the toilet over here. So I'm going to get underneath this piece of flooring here and finish my work underneath. All of this is behind the kitchen sink and counter and stove and all of that. That can stay against the wall over there. I'm not going to fight with that underneath the house. This copper here that goes over here to the water heater, this is my cold line, and I cut that off with a little wheel cutter here, and I took a piece of Scotch-Brite. This is not the regular one for the kitchen. This is out of my auto body supplies. Anybody that's into automotive repair should know about these. Anyway, I polished this old copper up, and I'm just gonna, I got this turned sideways so that it'll hang on that little piece of wall there, but this will spin around. That's another nice thing about these PEX fittings, is you can turn them. They're not completely locked in whatever position you put them on, like a glue-on PVC fitting would be. So you can twist these around. Anyway, I'm going to shark bite this onto this, save me some extra work and time from changing the plumbing, the copper plumbing on this water heater. So shark bite has a seal. It's got a locking tabs in there to hold on to it, and there's a rubber O-ring seal inside of it, and that locks on. Then there's a special tool you can get. They're cheap. They come different kinds, but it'll push this plastic ring inwards, and then which will unlock those locking tabs, and you can pull it back off and reuse these. So, but these are very expensive. That's like $10 for that little piece right there. So these other crimp-on fittings are only about $1.50, $2 a piece. If you buy them alone, if you buy them single, if you buy them on Amazon, bags full of them, they're probably less than $1 a piece. And that's the way I buy most of mine. So anyway, that will get shark bited on. I'll put that on there and put this on here. But for now, I'll just leave the water turned off to the water heater. I'm not going to be using hot water anytime soon. I'm glad the air conditioner still works. It hasn't been turned on for about 3 years, but it works good. I'm under the kitchen sink right now. I can turn this water on right now if I wanted to. These pipes are loose, they're not attached. The countertop is pulled away from the wall, but I can push all this back into place, and I got my shut-off valves here. All I got to do is turn on the water that comes in the house from back there in the corner where the pressure regulator is. I can turn that on, and the water is not going to go past this valve right here. And that's the main reason I put this valve in. Normally you would not have put one here going to the rest of the house. This will be the first place the water can get to. The cold water is this kitchen sink. Hot water cannot get in there yet. This goes back to the water heater, and then it's going to go under the house from there and into the bathroom and into the laundry room. So I put this valve in so that I don't have to wait until all of that's finished till you have water in the kitchen sink. And I really miss having water in the kitchen sink because I rebuild carburetors for small engines, lawnmowers and stuff, and to use the ultrasonic tank here and the acid solutions, all these different containers of different percentages of acids and stuff that I soak brass and aluminum and stuff in. I want to be able to rinse it off without having to put that stuff in a bucket and carry it to the other house. So I can turn that water on right now and have water in the kitchen, but I won't have it anywhere else. So you need to get one of these kits. This is a really good kit from iWis. And if I think about it, I might put a link in to where I found this on Amazon, because I did not know how to do PEX plumbing at all before I bought this stuff and started working on my mobile home. But this comes with 4 different sizes. The crimper, this is an adapter for 3/8 pipe, like it says right there. Here's an adapter for 3/4. I have the adapter for 1/2 inch, which is what most of this house is going to be. I have that one in the crimper. This is, of course, is a tubing cutter that comes with it. Here's a wrench for adjusting. This didn't come with this set. This is an extra one that came with something else. This is a go, no-go gauge. It looks exactly like a bolt cutter, and you just pull these things off to the side and those adapters will drop out of there. And I did say it has 4 sizes. These 3 adapters, and with no adapters at all, that's good for 1 inch. So we got the 1/2 inch in there now. And so this is where you would make your adjustments, is on these little screws here, and where else? I don't know. Here, there's numbers where you loosen up those screws and then you can rotate these. You can rotate one at a time. Right now we're on number 1 over here, we're on number 2 over here. If I needed to loosen it up, they'd both be on number 1. If I need to tighten it some more, I'll bring this one up to number 2. And then next time I need to tighten it again, I'll bring one of these up to number 3. So because wear and tear and just parts bending out of shape from stress and strain, eventually you'll need to tighten it up a little bit. And so this thing shows the go and no-go on here. So the way this go and no-go works is out here in front, it's just a little bit bigger than down in here. Here's a bag with some used fittings in here from the mobile home. I'll get one of these out and show how to cut these rings off and reuse these. See, since I can clean copper and brass with these acid soak solutions that I use on carburetors, I can reuse these and clean them up. I'm just going to use my own tubing cutter. It's a better one. It's a Husky one. It's a ratcheting one. And I'm going to cut this off, hopefully right at the end of the brass and not on the brass. And then this tool comes with that kit. It's a cutter. Got a cutting blade on one side, just a stop on the other side. And with this, you can reach in here and cut that ring. And then in order to cut through the tubing as well, but you don't want to cut into the ribs if you can help it. But this gives you a gap in there. There's a gap in between there so to keep you from cutting into the ribs that seal against the pipe. But you still want to work this thing and press it through. Make sure it cuts all the way through that plastic. And then I kind of bite it right back in that cutting hole there a little bit, and then I'll twist it sideways a little bit. And that'll spread it out big enough to get that off of there. There's your old ring. Now I'm going to sacrifice, just to show how to do this. That's a piece of 3/4 and there's 1/2 inch here. I'm going to sacrifice a little piece of this tubing and grab a 3/4 ring. Put my ring on here like that. You want an 1/8 of an inch gap between the ring and the end of the pipe. And you want to put that pipe in here tight. Sometimes you got to push the ring down here a little bit. I'm going to muscle this on here. Okay, we got that all the way down. The 1/2 inch seems to be a little bit looser for some reason. I'm going to slide this down to an 1/8 of an inch from the end, and then I don't have to on this because it's snug, it's holding on, but on the 1/2 inch it usually slips off of there pretty quick and gets in the wrong place, and you'll crimp it in the wrong place trying to get your crimper on there. So what I always do is I bite this once with the pliers like that, and then that'll hold still for me while I put my tool on there. Well, I should have done this with 1/2 inch. In fact, I'm going to, because I gotta do a whole bunch of 1/2 inch. I'm not going to change this over to 3/4 just to crimp that. I got this switched over to 1/2 inch, and like I did on that other one, I'm going to bite this once with the pliers so that otherwise this thing will slide all over the place and it'll be in the wrong position when you go to crimp it, and you can't see where it's at when you crimp it because the crimper's covering this up. So we want 1/8 of an inch there. You don't have to measure it. If you don't know what 1/8 of an inch looks like, then go ahead and measure it and mark it or whatever. Squeeze out just a quick little bite. That'll temporarily hold that. You certainly won't hold water, it'll blow off of there, but it will keep that from getting in the wrong place. Now this crimper has more hardware on this side sticking out of it, which gets you farther away from your actual crimping die there. This side has less, it's a little closer. So that's the side I like to put towards the brass. I mean towards the the big end of the fitting. Whoops. Like this. Put this on there like so. Not sure what I'm getting on camera because I'm watching this. And it says to just crimp it once, which isn't good enough, but I usually like to go 90 degrees and hit it again just in case I didn't get on there good. I don't know if there's anything bad about doing it that way, but it works. You grab that no-go tool. Two different ones here. Okay, the go tool means this should go home. It should go all the way down. What is this, the wrong size? Okay, this is their 3/8 size. I thought it was for 1/2 inch. Okay, this one goes all the way on, all the way down, but the no-go doesn't, which means that's the way it's supposed to be. This one goes all the way down. This one, the 1/2 inch is right here where my thumb is. This will go on part way, then it'll stop. So if it goes all the way down, then you got it too tight. You need to back your adjustment off a little bit on the crimpers. So this is supposed to go in part way, but not all the way. Same with this, goes in no-go. If that goes on, then you got to loosen up your crimper a little bit. But this one goes, so we're good. Don't know what else to say on crimping these things. The same rules apply to whatever size you're working on. This is 3/4 here and 1/2 inch there. 1/2 inch, 3/4, 3/8, and 1 inch. Those are the only 4 sizes you're likely to run into, but it's mostly 1/2 inch and 3/4. And this is a crimping tool that you got to muscle this one a little bit, but it's for getting into a place where you cannot fit with that big one that looks like a bolt cutter. You got to pull this handle out and then pull the handle back towards you against the spring. does this thing work? Okay, now it opens up big enough to get it over your pipe, and now it'll close on your pipe, and then you squeeze it tight with your handles. And this is adjustable too. So that's the 1/2 inch. I mean, you see, I don't know if you can see those marks on there, but that's adjustable too. You have to take this apart, turn that around on one position, and then put it back together. That's the 1/2 inch. Here's the 3/4. Works the same way. And they got several other different kinds too, but this is all I have, and I got through a whole house with these. Almost all of them with this one, and a couple of places that were in a tight spot, I went in there with these. This is a handy shark bite release tool, and there are other blades in here, different sizes. It's got a 1/2 inch size in here right now, and these are the cheap ones. Let's see, is there a 1/2 inch in here? This is a 1/2 inch here. So I'm going to demonstrate how shark bite works here. If I can stay in camera there, just push it on, and now it's locked on there, and it's sealed inside of an O-ring. The pressure against the O-ring actually makes it seal tighter against the pipe. So now I can't get that off, but I can take this, snap this on here, and I can squeeze that towards this, and that should release it and get it out of there. And sometimes these are seized up. Sometimes just the slightest little bit of water leakage will leave a little bit of corrosion in there or whatever, and you won't get it out. But this one will. You put this one in there. The big side, it's got a bigger hole there, and this has a smaller one. The bigger hole goes in the middle there. You squeeze that like this, and then you can get that out of there. So this has a lock on it to keep it locked, keep it open if you want it to.